Hello, welcome back to the continuing adventures of Kob-on-the-Cross, the Kobold of the Crossbow, as he treks through the dungeon. This is Trial 4 from the set of Hunter runs that I've been running, and so far it's been going pretty damn well if I do say so myself. In the last vid I made finally made the switch over to Scimitar from Saber, and trained up accordingly. Cleared out about half the vaults, I think, 3-4 floors worth, as well as just some generic dungeoning. And and recovered from a crash. So all told, pretty good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back on my the usual suspects here. So fighting, long blades, and hell, let's do armor too. I fully intend to go higher level armor eventually. At this point, I'm kind of on the fence, to be like 100% honest. I could go the armor route, or I could go the haste route. The way I see it is, I doubt I'm gonna get charms high enough to cast level 6 spells through serious armor. So if I go the armor route, we're talking wearing dragon armor. I don't know what that's gonna do to my dodging and my fighting capabilities. So this is kind of a nexus of possibilities right now. Regardless which way I go in the end, I'll want armor at level 9, and regardless, I'll want to be able to cast some basic charms like repel missiles and maybe regeneration. So I have no problems training these skills to some basic level right off the bat. So I don't have to make a choice yet, is the bottom line. Whoa, oh, we're already in defaults, okay. I don't have any problem making a choice right, I don't feel any urgency to make that choice right off the bat. We did leave, someone alive back here, person, thingy, that guy who has orcs, or as his friend, Sant Roka. We did leave Sant Roka alive, so he's still, somewhere in the vaults, worth worrying about on the second floor. So let's hope we don't never run into him. I don't particularly want to fight him. He's a good chunk of EXP, but he's also a good chunk of die. Ooh, this is just bad. Narrow hallways, titanic slime. We're gonna try a different door. Hey, here we go. This is much more my speed. One-on-one fighting. I wonder what this could be. Makes me vulnerable. Yay. In all honesty, though, vulnerability is a very good thing to have one of sitting around. It instantly removes most, well, not instantly removes most, it removes your contamination. So if your contamination is in the red, you can get it down to yellow very quickly. It doesn't remove all of it, though. Maxwell's patented armor is never going to be in my wearing range, because if I recall correctly, it has something that makes it unusable. Right, no casting and no teleport. The no casting is no big deal, but no teleport also includes blinking, so forget it. I'm beyond ruined robes, but these are 3 artifact armors. I could potentially make use of any of those. Especially since right now I'm still working with troll leather. The reason I'm not getting them is because price is a lot to pay to try something which is probably going to be a couple steps forward, a couple steps back in terms of its value to me anyway. Okay, now that I have them both running, let's switch to velocity and peg them. It's one of the nice things about being a primary hunter, the ability to shoot fleeing enemies. Let's get out of the mass. Where was the slime monster? Was way away. Okay, good. I just had a mental image of a bunch of green slimes coming up behind me while I locked myself into this fight. But it's not happening, so we're going to be in good shape. We'll just scissor these things through. Again, you'll want to notice that even though I'm a hunter with level 20 crossbow skill, right? I'm doing just fine with my level 9 saber for the most part. I seldom need to actually switch beyond it. It just goes to show that this game is not like brokenly hard or anything. There's a lot of viable things if you know what you're doing. A lot of viable options if you know what you're doing. And in particular, I train dodging a lot. My dodging is level 20 as well. That's why I'm so powerful. I can ignore much of what happens. Let's go ahead and shout to get the molten gargoyles to follow me. Check to see if they have any immunities. Fire, but that is all. Nothing pro or anti-ice. So we're gonna go velocity, quiver ice for the bonus damage. Not bonus damage as in they're weak to it, but bonus damage as in they add an element of ice to the damage rolls. If I recall correctly, I found a slaying ring recently, and I apparently never put back on my second ring, so here's the dexterity. Give me back my flaming sword. I'll take this guy on. Then I'm going to move out in the open to make sure that they don't form up easily. Beautiful. Yeah, if you can maneuver yourself to receive slime enemies in such a fashion that they don't naturally walk onto each other, they aren't smart enough to try to walk onto each other and then intentionally walk as a group or anything like that, so you do a lot better. Alright, let's go ahead and gather up my bolts. There was still at least one of them, I thought, but maybe not. I'm alone, so even if he paralyzes me, I should be okay. Alone as in none of his friends are nearby. None of my friends. See invisible helmet. Thanks, but no thanks. I've got a ring for that kind of thing. Okay, I just had a realization. It's time to go ahead and do the poison weapon thing that I mentioned I was going to do earlier. And oh wow, despite having like 95% fail chance, I got it on the first try. Awesome. This enables me to study charms, which I will, and spellcasting, which I will, and we're going to turn off long blades because I'm satisfied with them currently as they are until I need a better sword or something, and soon enough we'll have armor off so that we can really focus on getting haste castable. Ditch this book. We're going to pick up the wizardry book just so that I can periodically check how my haste progress is coming. I don't expect to be able to cast haste until probably after Volts 8. I might end up going the long way just to get more experience somewhere else. Truth to be told, this is probably not a bad time to consider switching off of, Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna have to use my Wand of Fire to get in behind these, the chump-blocking knight and hit the Juicy Sorcerer on the underside. There it goes, he's dead. Okay. But yeah, this is not a bad time to consider switching off of Okawaru if I intend to do that before the end of the game, and potentially picking up Piety with some other god, while there's still a bunch of fleshy, killable things to cut through. Problem is, I can't think what other god I really want to follow right now. Yeah, TSO I've mentioned before is an option. You can go through the crypt and pick up pretty much all your Piety right off the bat, but not exactly like I need his abilities either. There we go. That's finally some of what I really needed. Some new bolt infusions, thanks to having killed a whole bunch of yaktuars that actually dropped shit. Let's drop half my meat stack, because, you know, I don't remember the last time I've eaten meat, and in this game I probably will never actually need it. Because Kobold. They basically get gourmand status, pseudo-gourmand status for free. Spellcasting has been learned. You know, an easier barometer will be to see if poison weapon has gone down before we even start looking at anything else. And it's gone from 95% fail to 88%, so already significant improvement. Okay, we don't want to get surrounded, but we do want to get right up close and personal and kill this guy. Okay, vampire's dead. Nothing else to worry about. Oh god, this is why you don't hold auto fight without a plan to extricate yourself. Okay, pick him off, pick him off. Notice that I poke the zombie, but I keep retreating. I want the zombie in front of me. Now let's go upstairs. Pull this guy with me. Acid can still burn. I'll heal up. Okay, that's a yaktuar captain. Not to be taken lightly. I'm going to initiate a blink, because that will either get me out of sight or closer up to him. Either way, I'm happy. This is a pretty close distance to be at. I can't do anything about the guy who's pegging me from range, though. There we go. Got all of them. It's interesting to note that they use the same combination I do, scimitar plus crossbow. I wonder if that's like a particularly good combination or something. I don't know. Oh, new potion. Cure mutation. Perfect. I didn't even notice I picked that up. And wouldn't you know it, they probably were using my undesired god gifts against me. Let's ditch some weight I already ditched half my... I mean, I don't need 195 bolts. I'm just carrying them around because I haven't thought about it yet. We're going to ditch the life protection amulet at this... or ring at this point. And half the Wands of Frost. I'm more likely to use the last 20 crossbow bolts than I am to use those. Okay. That's another floor cleared. Down another. Melee dragons. Gotta love that I can melee dragons. Okay, bunch of yaktuars. This is where repel missiles would be a godsend. I'm gonna walk right up into the middle of this. There we go. This is about as middle as it gets. And now is a good time to... Actually, before this would have been a good time to turn on my god abilities, but there you go. Heroism and finesse. We're just gonna slice our way through this entire armada. Notice that I am very intentionally keeping the Lyrosiprococa, or the white guy, alive in front of me. Because he is not doing enough damage... Freezing Wraith. Because he's not doing enough damage, and he was blocking all of the incoming bolts by preventing my enemies from even firing. Just the way I like it. Let's go ahead and just sacrifice, I guess. And God Gift of Silver Bolts, and Bolts of Frost, and awesome. Oh, and 38 more bolts for some reason. Go ahead and disable his trap. Oh, it's a blade trap, so even if I disable it, it's no big deal. Let's go ahead and eat one of these, just for fullness sake. And we got 256 bolts in a stack. This is a terrible thing to be carrying around. I am tempted to actually make a trip upstairs and just dump them somewhere. I should not be running around burdened. That's a stupid idea. We're gonna dump 60 bolts right now. Shoot him. Yep, that cinches it. We're experiencing weight issues, so let's get out of the vaults. The reason I'm going all the way out of the vaults isn't because I'm generating a stash or anything like that. It's just that if I ever have to come back for bolts, I don't want to dig all the way down to the middle of the vaults to get them. And I don't want them to be trapped behind Sant Roca or something. So we're just going to put 100 bolts right here. Also, yaktuars spawn in the vaults, so they would potentially pick them up and use them. Also, we don't need this elven buckler. We don't need... 3 honeycombs. We're gonna eat the sausage, and what else can I get rid of here? I don't see us ever using a potion of magic. Yeah, that's about good for now. How are we doing for weight? 92% max. So let's lose some more. Those steel bolts weigh a ton. They should actually probably be my default, given how rarely they ever mulch. I'm going to drop a large stack of restorabilities, and agilities, and 2 curing potions, and stuff. Because I don't want the recharge with me either. I don't have anything that's worth carrying that for. I don't need the Elven Cloak of Darkness. I don't see myself using it tactically very much. Let's at least dump the Helmet of Death's Door, since I'm not trading off to it at all. That should help a lot. There we go, 85%. I now have enough spare slots to pick up a bunch of potions and such. Down another floor. Cut up the griffin. Shoot the griffin. Gotta remember to unquiver my current bolts and quiver up the steels next time I fire. They will mulch slower and deal much more damage. Ooh, gain intelligence. That doesn't hurt. 65% failure, still 100%. Don't yet know the Scroll of Torment. There's some basically good stuff here. Enchant armor and weapons +2. We'll come back to you when we have a weapon worth hanging on to. Quiver me up something else, Doc. Extra 16, not bad at all. ID this ring because too lazy to try putting it on. Ooh, definitely want to use that instead of dexterity plus 2. Dexterity plus 2 does help my damage, a pittance, but AC plus 4 on a character who has primarily defended himself with dodging is just awesome. For the one time where you fail to dodge and it saves you from dying. I would like to learn some of these spells just for utility's sake, but I don't see myself actually doing it anytime soon, and it's certainly not a priority enough to take any experience away from what I'm currently running. Do I have penetration? I do. Good. Let's penetrate the sucker. Nope, that's not doing any damage. Poison while he's in open form, and then wield a sword to finish him. There we go. He's down. God, I wish ammo didn't mulch. It's just such a sad, sad thing every time. God, I wish I could get over it and use my brain instead of actually worrying about it. In any event, let's see if I can pull you all back a little bit and slash at you, because you're the one I'm going to be pulling upstairs. You guys come with me. Come with me if you want to live. Psych! You're going to die. Slash. So yeah, ultimately, I'm basically playing this guy like a melee fighter with an ace in the hole every time I need to use ranged weapons or attack something that's dangerous to hit in melee. And quite frankly, it's been very effective. And oh, it's Frederick. Frederick is a devastatingly powerful enemy. Definitely merits going all out with regards to my abilities. And failing to use finesse 5 times in a row does fill me with no small amount of trepidation. Quiver up. Penetration or steel? He's probably wearing a robe, so steel is probably fine. Damn, he disappeared. Okay, we're gonna follow him into invisibility. Not follow him into invisibility. We're gonna take a peek at him using See Invisible. Okay, I think that's about all my steel. I got 2 more bolts, 1 more bolt. Okay, fair enough. Now we're gonna re-quiver penetration. That should end him. Perfect. He's down. And that actually leveled us up. And of course, him being a high-level enemy, just a sacrifice gave me the max piety gain possible for any given sacrifice. So, and again, steel bolts are great. I have all of them. None of them mulched, even though I've fired all 12 of them 3 times now. 2 times? 3 times. Several times. 7 chunks of boulder beetle flesh. Holy crap, that guy was a fat beetle. I know it's random and all, but still. Come on, come to the door. Y'all know you want to. Okay. I don't know that I want you to anymore. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of trying to walk away, and now I'm committed to escaping. And how do I teleport to the worst possible place? We're going to move into melee range and activate heroism for the sake of the defenses. And then make sure that we are out of range of anyone that would attempt... Okay, see that guy behind? He's the one who's going to kill us. The one who can paralyze or confuse. So we're going to attempt to teleport again. And Scroll of Fear? None? Okay. Well, we'll just heal up by attacking. Boom! We're out of there. All the way upstairs. Well, we can get back our equipment later. That's not a problem. What's important is to live. Quiver me up some ice bolts. Blast this fucker. Okay, he's down too. Wield me a scimitar of flaming. Get me into position. Leave me a random scroll. It's a Jabberwock. It's a shame because if I had held on to that, I could have vorpalized a poison brand onto a blank crossbow, of which there are plenty now that I've finally found some yaktuars. No matter. Can always do it later. ID me this ring of fire. I don't need it. It's amazing how quickly you go from I'm dead to business as usual in this game, huh? I do need to face that mass that I left behind at some point, but until I find it again, it's not going to be necessary, and I'm in no rush to run to that point of the level when I can clear out more of the level to secure my escapes. Those look like cool gloves. Those look like gurgly enemies, so let's pick up the God Gift gloves and run out of range and then start fighting everything. Troll leather armor. Making my day every day. Dex gloves. Dex gloves are a definite positive alternative to strength gloves. Let's ditch some weight so that I can actually wear these legitimately. Done. Okay, come on. Draw you all back. Now we're in a hallway. Should be advantage me. Wrong target. Should not have tab fired. I should have manually selected. It's fine. Why don't you all come to me now? And I'll take you all down. It's an Etten. Switch weapons. Re-quiver with ordinary bolts. Fire, blink. Fire. Blink. Quiver poison. So that I can just run away and still have you losing health. Okay, you know what? Meleeing an Etten. I know I said it was a bad idea, but that was a long time ago. I'm stronger now. And I have the technology. Namely a sword. A terrible idea. Go ahead and butcher you, and, ooh, I just picked up a crossbow by mistake. Let's drop that. Go ahead and cut me up some bad guys. And again, orcs are just padding at this point. They're not really a concern. Fancy orcs, maybe, but certainly the basic orc is not a concern anymore. So I'm even going to eat the basic orc. And the rest of these I will sacrifice. Because Okuwaru does care how high level your sacrifices are, or how hard they are compared to you. Like that orc I just sacrificed gave me 0 piety. That's just burned to ash. Okuwaru did not care. Killing it gave me some piety, though, so that's nice. Spell's not even close to being castable. Okay, I'm auto-fighting against a very strong enemy, so let's make sure he dies. Now he's dead, but I'm up against 2 smiters, so... Fog to cover my escape. They're all summoned creatures, so I'm not exactly keen on fighting them. Freezing death or blue death or whatever I can kill with, Okay, as long as he hasn't seen me, I can potentially blast him to death without having to use up any more resources. Heal. And you, the one who made me teleport again. I hate you so much. You're dead now, dick. Did I ever take off the Ring of See Invisible? No, I did not. Go ahead and do that. I don't need to see invisible, but I do want to have AC plus 4. Yay! God gifts! Double yay! Ammo! And apparently that yaktuar was holding on to 51 crossbow bolts. Where the hell did he get that many? Because I'm burdened, I'm going to go ahead and drop 130 more bolts onto my pile. Not like it's making a difference or anything. I still have 95% of my weight. That's ridiculous. Let's drop the Amnesia Scroll, the Book of Earth, I feel like I'm missing something obvious. I don't need this cloak. If I'm not going to be using them, then I certainly don't need the Gloves of Strength. And basically it comes down to this. You're not supposed to carry 400-ish bolts, and I have 100, 150, 160, 180, 250, almost 300 just sitting in my inventory, so that's the reason I keep going over the weight limit. That said, hold a fist up in front of your face. You are now visually representing the number of fucks I give. cut you up and eat you. Take that. Bolts of flame. You're on fire. You're on fire. You're on fire. Okay, I think that's all of you. Sacrifice the corpses. Chase down the mage. And the mage abyssed me. Fuck. Alright, honestly, that's probably a good reason to stop the run right here. And we can deal with the abyss later. Yeah. We're gonna stop this vid right here. It's been a great run, guys. Even if I die in the abyss, it was a great run. But I'm a kobold. I have very good hunger tolerance. I have enough food that I'll be here for a long time without thinking about it. And I've been meleeing mostly lately anyway, so many of the enemies I would face in the abyss I should be in good shape for. I think I saw a tormentor. And I don't have a huge HP total to recover either. So, who knows? Maybe I'll actually be okay. It all depends how the wind blows. It is the abyss after all. I could be out of here in 5 turns. Or 5 minutes. I could be out of here in 5 seconds. I could be out of here a hell of a lot longer. Or I might never find an exit and keep playing for like 12 minutes. That has happened before. So, whatever. But yeah, once I get out, I'm just going to be up against an ogre mage, so nothing terrifying. You know what? When fighting angels at melee range, it probably behooves you to make sure that you turn on some buffs. I just turned on heroism. And I just meleeed a David to death while being attacked by a zombie at the same time. Or maybe you guys will watch me die. That's a possibility. Let's just run away at this point. I'm not gonna... As much as I would like to get those bolts... Yeah, they're just bolts of flame, and I have hundreds of bolts. It's not worth trying to... It's not worth putting myself in a 0.1% increased risk of dying for. Okay, I'm almost dead. Let's turn on Curing, and bear in mind that that's a smiter, the smoke demon, so just being in range of him puts me at risk of dying, so I have to go ahead and do another heal, and speed potion should be enough to get me out of range. I'm gonna get mutated because I have no resist mutation ability, but that was enough to get me out of immediate danger range. So we're gonna stop here. And clearly I'm not playing very well right now, and I need to be playing better if I'm going to survive the abyss. I will see you all next time.